Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Molloy here from Senior Infants. So for today's video, I am in my kitchen, and the reason why I am here is because we are going to do a little bit of baking. So what we are going to make today are some banana oat chocolate chip cookies, which are really simple and easy to make, and there are only 4 ingredients. Now, before we begin, there are some important things that we need to go through first. Number 1, as always, when we are working with food, we need to make sure our hands are super clean. And the second most important thing is that there are going to be some parts today in the recipe that we will need an adult to help us with. So I will let you know those parts, and it is really important that we have an adult watching us today to make sure that we are all safe. Okay, so let's get stuck in, find out what we need to make our cookies, and start the recipe. Okay, so the 4 ingredients you need today are 2 bananas, some porridge oats. You're going to use 2 cups of porridge oats, some chocolate chips, and whatever milk you have at home. If you want to make some more cookies, we're going to make about 6. You can just increase the amount for each ingredient. Next up, you are going to need to find a bowl to mix the cookie dough mixture in. You will need a cup to measure out the porridge oats, something to mash the bananas with. So I have there a fork or a potato masher. You can use your hands either. And then lastly, you will need a baking tray with some grease-proof paper. So the adult that is helping you at home today will be able to find all of these things with you and help you with the baking tray. Okay, so let's get started on making our cookie dough. So it is really, really easy. You are going to first put in your pieces of banana that an adult at home has cut up for you. So they go in first, and then you are going to use either your fork or your potato masher, and you're just going to stamp them a little bit. Now, you can find maybe when you're doing this, it might be a little bit hard. So the bananas that I'm using today are a little bit ripe, and that's perfectly fine, because when we add in our porridge oats, which we're going to do next, you're going to use your hands to mix it all together anyway to make it into dough. Okay, so I'm going to pop that over there, and I'm going to add in my 2 cups of porridge oats. So they go in like so, and then this is the fun bit. So with clean hands, of course, which you would have washed before you began, you are going to just mash it all in together in a paste. So you're looking for the banana pieces to be mashed in together with the porridge oats. So it'll take a couple of minutes until they're all together, and you'll find the mixture is still a little bit dry, but that's okay, because we're going to add in our milk now in a few minutes. So whoever's helping at home with you, they might add the milk in. So I am going to go wash my hands now and add in the milk. Okay, so I'm just adding in a tiny little bit of milk. You use whatever milk you have at home. I use almond milk, so that's what I'm using today. And then you can go back in with your hands, and you'll notice straight away that the mixture has got a lot more like a dough mixture. If you find that you've added a little bit too much milk, just go and add a tiny bit more of your porridge oats. So don't be worrying if you think, my goodness, there's way too much in here. Just add some more porridge oats and it'll dry it out a bit. Okay, so after all that, you should have a little ball like this. Okay, so the next part we are going to do, my favorite part, is add in our chocolate chips. Now, you can also use blueberries, raspberries, you might have some raisins at home. Sometimes I make them with raisins and they're lovely too, but we're going to add chocolate chips today. Try not to be like Miss Molloy and eat half the pack before you have actually added them in. So let's add them in like so. And then you guessed it, we're going to have to go back in with our hands and just mix all of those chocolate chips into our cookie dough mixture. So just kind of roll it around the bowl to pick up all the chocolate chips. Okie dokie, this is looking pretty good. Okay, so we are ready for our next part of our cookie baking today. Now we need to take our cookie dough mixture and we need to make it into lots of lovely little cookies. So what you're going to do is, from your big ball of mixture, you're just going to take a small amount from the mixture and you're going to roll it into kind of like a football, really, small little football, and then you're going to flatten it down so it's roughly about that size. Although if you want to make giant cookies, then just make it a little bit bigger. So roll it again and flatten it out. We have a chocolate chip that has escaped. Okay, and you do this with all of the mixture until it's all gone and we have some lovely cookies on our baking tray ready to go into the oven. So off you go and get the rest of your cookie dough ready to rock into the oven. Now, the next bit is really important because this is the part that we can't do. We need an adult to turn the oven on, and the cookies are going to go into the oven for roughly about 10 minutes, but you'll get whoever is helping you to keep an eye on them. So when they're golden, if your oven at home is anything like Miss Molloy's and seems to have a mind of its own, you'll just have to check them and just take them out when they look golden brown. And when your cookies are done, the adult who has been helping you today will take them out. You can let them cool down for a little while, and then the last thing you have to do is enjoy them. So I'm going to have my cookie now with a nice cup of tea.